So yeah, like I said, Typhoon, get that unit as soon as possible. It's not a huge rush since you have those Hurricanes. I think it's more important to get, depends what your opponent's obviously doing, but I think it's more important to research the Spitfire first and get that in play, due to the fact that it's so cheap. It's only 20 bucks, and it's such a huge unit. It can kill infantry so fast, it can kill planes so fast. If that opponent tries to go air against you and you have 3 or 4 Spitfires, forget it, it's over. You will crush their economy, especially if they go planes. If they're any country other than maybe Italy. Italy's got fairly good planes, or the USA. Any other country, in my opinion, the other ones are just garbage. France, USSR, and what other country am I forgetting? I don't know, one of the other ones. And Germany, yes, and Germany. Those 3 countries, horrible air. Italy is okay, not amazing. And the Americans is pretty much a close second when it comes to air. So if you're playing a US player, they start pumping out those fighters, you get those advanced fighters, and pretty much you can just GG them, because you'll pretty much take down all. They spend so much money. They need to, I believe, they get the fighters right away, but if they pump them out, you kill a bunch of fighters. Now you have a ton of fighters on the field. Anything that comes your way is going to be dead. That will allow your Typhoons or your bombers to get in there and start bombing them like crazy with that recon. So if anyone tries to go air with you, if it's not another UK player, then you need to get the Spitfire out right away. So if you get those 2 Typhoons out and that 1 recon, that will hold you, that will hold the opponent off for a little while. That'll at least get you up in that air dominance. Then as soon as you have that 50 bucks, put it right into the Spitfire, start pumping those things out, and then work your way from the Spitfire to the Typhoon, and then get those 2 units combined and start wreaking havoc with the recon planes, on tanks, on infantry, on any of that stuff, on artillery. Just start wreaking havoc against those basic units with the 2-man combo. You can get about 5 to 10 of them combined. You can completely destroy an opponent very quickly, and then clean it up with the B-17s. Or I'm sorry, the Wellingtons. I'm thinking of the other different country, the Wellingtons. So it actually does 40 damage to infantry. It does 1,440 damage to a truck. I have no idea why it needs that much damage, but apparently it needs that much damage. It does 150 damage to machine gun, or to basic machine gun units. Or the machine gun does 150 damage to infantry, I should say. It does 358 damage to a light tank, which is over triple the amount of the Hurricane. It is 179 damage against level 2, which is again over triple. It does 90 damage to a level 3, which is over double. It does 71 damage against a level 4 tank, or any level 4 armor, which is again just under triple the Hurricane. It does 42 damage against a heavy tank level 5, a level 5 armor, which is over double than the Hurricane. So very good value for the cost. I know the Hurricane's 25 bucks. It's $15 extra for the plane plus the $50 upgrade, but this plane is a game changer. If you match it with a Spitfire, those 2 combined will destroy everything. You need to play air if you're going to be UK. Air is your only friend, in my opinion, when you're playing the UK. The rest of the units are pretty much just base defense. You can send like Fireflies or Matildas out just to pretty much be a bit of a support unit, just so they don't mass AA. The Matilda and the Firefly are just pretty much, for me, meant to not make your opponent only go AA in artillery. So if you make those tanks, you make those Fireflies, you then force your opponent to have to get AT. That means the more he's spending on stopping tanks, the better chance you have of killing the AT that's there, and the less chance he is spending that money on AT, or AA, sorry, and you can start going to work on that mixture of units. But yes, get the Typhoon, get the Spitfire. So if I was going to go for a starting build, depending what they do, obviously, if they camouflage net their whole base, and you don't think you're going to be able to get any kills with the Typhoons, then instantly research Spitfire right off the bat. Then you can either make a couple Spitfires, or make the recon plane first. Send the recon plane out to see what's going on around. If you see infantry coming, then pump out those Spitfires. If you see tanks coming, pump out those Typhoon or those Hurricanes, and then you should be good to go. Then from there you can play it by ear, because you have that recon advantage. You have that that unit always looking over the base. And then if you have a bunch of Spitfires coming out, maybe if you see they're going anti-air, you have a bunch of anti-air coming out, you can get those Spitfires out there quickly, start killing the anti-air as soon as possible, then retreat, and then get those Typhoons out and have that combo. So if they camouflage that, you will not be able to get a successful attack off. Go for Spitfire upgrade right away. Do not waste the money on the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are only get Hurricanes if your opponent does not camo and you think you can get at least 1 or 2 trucks. If you can get 2 trucks, make both, but you got to go get the Hurricane, then get the recon, then get another Hurricane. Do it in that order, just so at least you don't have to wait for 2 planes, and then if they do camo net, now you got to wait for that recon plane that's very, very slow to get out there. Even you can do recon plane then Hurricane if you want. Just the fact that the recon plane's so slow, it'll take it a while to get out there to scout. But if they do camo net and you don't feel safe, you don't feel like you'll be able to get a kill right off the bat, then research Spitfire with that extra money that you haven't spent, and then get those Spitfires out, or the Hurricanes out, depending on what they go for, tanks or AA/infantry. The next unit is the Wellington Bomber. Very good unit. It does 316 damage to infantry, 316 damage to trucks, 360 damage to buildings. I believe that is per bomb that it drops. It carries 2 tons of bombs. I don't know if that's Canadian 2 tons because they're British, or American 2 tons. I don't know. It might be the British 2 tons. Regardless, doesn't matter. So it does 360 damage to all. It does 63 to light, or to level 1, 32 to level 2, 16 to level 3, 8 to level 4, and 3 to level 5. So not a very good unit for killing tanks. Do not need it for killing tanks at all. This thing is only for killing ground units only. That's it. That's all you need. Do not send these out alone. Do not send 1 bomber at a time. I will not stress this enough. If you're playing any player that's good, 1 bomber is not going to do anything. If you're going to get a successful bombing run, you have to already in your head just take it and assume that the first bomber is dead. You're going to lose the first bomber no matter what if they have AA, or at least you're going to get a retreat. One of the two. Do not send single bombers. There is no point to send single bombers at all. Do not send them. Don't do it. You might think, oh, there's no AA here, 1 bomber is okay, but don't do it. Just send 2, send 3. I always send minimum 3 bombers when I go to do a bombing run, just because they cost cheap, but you're gonna lose at least 1. I can guarantee it. Unless the player is so horrible at making AA and positioning it, you're gonna lose 1 bomber. But that doesn't matter. You can lose the first bomber as long as that second and third bomber land their payloads. You are in great shape because you've lost $30, but you may kill 6 AA guns, or you may kill 3 buildings. Depends on how the enemy put their buildings together. You could kill a depot, a barracks, you can kill an AA base all in 1 run. Then your second bomber could drop on the AA guns and take out all the AA guns, and there you go. Now all of a sudden your opponent has to make another AA base and then pump a bunch of more units out, and now you're way ahead. Then you can just go in with your fighter bombers as well as your recon in case they camo net at all. You should have recon there anyway, but if they do camo net all of a sudden, then get that recon back out there again and start getting those fighter bombers to get those extra unit kills while the AA is gone. So always send minimum 2. I would say always 3 though. Send at least 3 bombers at a time. They're $25 to upgrade, very cheap. They do a ton of damage. They one-shot any building because I believe the actual bomb, each bomb is 360.